Hey guys, it's your buddy Ryan here, and I am doing a little bit of a late night shortwave session. I have my radio here. It's the Sewadon R108. I'm using that primarily tonight because my Tecsun PL880 radio is charging. So, the mood struck me. It is rainy here in California right now, so everything's all wet. I've got a uninsulated copper long wire antenna out there and a substantial copper grounding pole. And typically in these sort of stormy conditions, I end up picking up some interesting things. So without further ado, let's get started. We're going to do kind of a long form shortwave session, and I'll probably cut some smaller clips out of this later. Let's take a look. Okay, so got the Sewadon. Turn it up nice so you can hear it. And we're going to go ahead and switch it to the shortwave band. It's on medium wave or AM right now. Okay, so now we're in shortwave. You can see it's indicated by the little SW there. Okay? And all I'm going to do is I'm going to press and hold this button right here. It's ATS. Okay? And she's off to the races. Now this is going to go ahead and scan through. I'll try to get a good view of that for you. I know, very exciting stuff here. So for those of you who have watched me before, you know that I live in South Central California, and we're getting a ton of rain right now. So I actually have a pond in my backyard that wasn't there 3 days ago, and we have ducks visiting. So it's been a really interesting time here. Now you can see this guy is scanning through, and you can see the preset number now is up to 8, right? So we're looking for number 8. We found 7 so far. And what this does is it scans through, and every time it picks up a channel that's transmitting in the shortwave band, it will log it to memory, and then we can just scroll through and see which ones are there. Now, sort of the fun of this for me is that with changes in radio wave propagation or just who's broadcasting at the time, because, stations will have content beamed out for, say, an hour and then stop broadcasting somewhere in the world, it'll vary quite a bit from time to time. So if I scan through multiple times, I was oriented, I believe, going southwest to northeast, and I have another one going in the opposite or perpendicular direction. Okay, and you can use those two different long wires and pick up two totally different sets of information. So basically, the way the radio waves propagate, you'll be able to pick up directionally, theoretically, some different channels if different ones are broadcasting at different times. Now, where I'm located, the way my primary antenna is oriented, is the best way to go for me. But it's fun to switch it up from time to time. See here, so we're getting near the top. Usually anything around this area, there's RNZ International somewhere in here. That's out of New Zealand. And we get a lot of Chinese stuff through here. And I don't speak Chinese, but I have a good ear for languages. And I can go through and hear them saying the same thing on several of these stations. And what occurs to me is that, China's a very big country, so probably they have multiple places to transmit in country, which most of them do appear to be from inside China in various areas. But they also do broadcast all over the world. They have their own news service, similar to how the British have the BBC or the Japanese have NHK. So Point being is you'll get these Chinese broadcasts, and there's just tons and tons of them. They're really invested in shortwave, it seems like. Which, when you have a country that's so far spread and not all technologized, yeah, shortwave seems like a pretty good way to communicate your propaganda. So, other things we'll find on here too is Voice of Korea. So we'll see if we can find that tonight. The downside of doing this with me, though, is I normally look up these stations on my phone. I only have one phone, so I'm using it to record. I'll tell you if I know something, though. Okay, this is going to be an atomic clock. I know the one out of Fort Collins, Colorado is 5,000. But these go all the way up the board. So there's one at 2,500, one at 5,000, one at 10,000. So usually those even intervals, but this will tell you the exact time. Okay, let's look at the next. Okay, so I just change it to scroll through the presets by hitting the VMVF button. 4840. Lots of pro-America stuff.
3 minutes. Coordinated universal time.
Okay, so that is the station out of my hometown, Fort Collins, Colorado. The atomic clock. Wish I had visited to take a look at the antenna at least once. I was a licensed ham in that area, so I probably knew someone who could have taken me if I was interested at the time, but I wasn't. You live and learn. Radio Havana, Cuba. Let's listen. Nothing. Let's see if I can open the signal up a little. I'm trying to remember how to do that. I think it was this one. Still nothing. Okay. We get them good some nights we don't.
Identified as William Jerome Rivers, Kennedy Sanders, and Leon Moffat. Service members remain arrived in the U.S. Some U.S. officials have been calling for a powerful response.
5850.
The Biden administration has suggested that the U.S.
It might be Okeechobee, Florida.
Not a single thrust. White House National Security spokesperson
Just some news.
On Thursday, high-tiered approach over a period of time.
Not sure what news service that is. Very staticky on 5935 tonight. That's Japan. Just coming in terribly. Of course, guys, they get better reception outside.
Convocations, which ye shall proclaim in their seasons.
Ah, yes, more religious stuff.
That even is the Lord's Passover, and on the 15th day of the same month is the feast of unleavened bread unto the Lord.
The feast of unleavened bread.
Unleavened bread. In the first day ye shall have an holy convocation.
Anyone else had unleavened bread? It's gross. We had it at my church once when I was a kid. Oh, who we got? Okay, I probably can't do too much of this, and I always like to sort of talk over music a little bit, just because I don't want to get copyright flagged on my videos that'll have like 4 views. It's really annoying. That's Spanish, though. Curious. Okay, well, do you guys want to do one more scan? Let's see here. Maybe while this is scanning, I'll see if I can grab another battery for my other radio. Ready? We're going to hit ATS again. And we are off to the races. Let's see if I can prop this up. Oh, beautiful. Maybe. Where's this? Ah, there you go. I don't have to hold you guys the whole time. It's a lot better, isn't it? Alright. Good news, I found my other battery. That way when nobody watches this, they'll be happy to be on the other one.
Unfortunately, I'm ministering to the
Brother
last
Stare, should we listen in for a
generation,
while?
where the majority doesn't want to be saved.
Says crazy shit.
They don't want you to tell them how to be saved. They don't want you to tell them they need to be saved. And they surely don't want you to tell them what they need to be saved for.
That's right. Amen.
Too many of you still got that thing in your heart. Who are you talking to? You? How did we get like this? How did Israel, after 4,000 years, fall into total darkness until God even shut the mouth of the prophet?
Do that.
It's just stated there, Moses and the prophets.
Yes.
And those Moses and the prophets They started out in a field of darkness. They were ignorant. They were dark. They didn't know. And God just excused them a little bit.
Like I said, he's a nut job. Alright, let's see here.
Storm is much slower and is expected to stall as it moves on shore, bringing a much longer duration of rain compared to the first. The National Weather Service mentions that flooding and mudslide concerns are high because the ground is already wet from the first storm. For Sunday, the Weather Prediction Center had issued a level 3 of 4 risk for excessive
Let's listen to
rainfall
this.
Santa Barbara and Oxnard.
Try to
And
figure
on
out.
Monday, the level 3 of 4 risk expands farther south to include Los Angeles itself.
Sounds
High
like
winds
from California.
have also been a concern across much of California, with widespread winds of 40 to 60 miles per hour, with some gusts as high as 75 to 85 miles per hour. This is likely to lead to downed trees and power outages. In mountainous areas of eastern California along the Nevada border, Mono
That's
County,
me.
which includes famous tourist destinations such as Mammoth Lakes and Yosemite National Park,
Hey, I have one viewer.
is the
Thanks for
target of what
watching.
could be
Well,
significant
goodbye.
snow totals.
Be at rest. But for the moment, it hasn't. And yet God, in that very thing, in the very thing he did, creating the earth, creating the universe, putting man...
So I don't believe in any of this kind of stuff, so I try not to linger on it too much. Just for, I grew up with it. If you like it, that's fine. But a lot of the people on the shortwave stations tend to be
when we
pretty
go
radical.
through scripture and we see it,
I'd say if you're trying to find God, there's better places than the shortwave radio.
8, 8, 4, 7, 3.
Ooh. Do we find number station? Okay. Let's give that a listen. We might have found a number station, guys. Certainly is a spooky transmission.
2, 3, 5, 5.
I think we have a number station. I'm gonna switch to my better radio. I found a battery for it. Okay, you just hold on. Switching radios midstream, guys.
7, 3, 1, 6, 5.
Cool. Let's sit on the number station for a good while here. For anyone just tuning in, this is your buddy Ryan, and I found a number station on the shortwave, 11635 kilohertz. Let's have a listen and see when it scans through next. Seems to be about every couple minutes. There you go. There's the numbers. And then a tone. Weird. What a good catch, guys. You should watch the live stream live, and we'll find stuff like this together. Alright, guys, we're waiting to hear the numbers again. Let's see when it comes through.
Uno, 5, 7, 4, 1.
Crazy. I gotta be honest, guys, it's been a long time since I found like a legit number station broadcasting. I'm sure other people see them, but in my area, I don't get good reception of them. So that's a real treat. We'll listen through one more time and then we'll move on, okay? You know what we'll do? Let's listen to the number station. Let's listen to the number station on the Ceradon while I scan with the other one. Can we do that even? No? Alright, well, since we're here anyway, let's just go ahead and scan on the Tecsun now that I've got it hooked up. I like this radio a lot better. It also costs about 6 times what the other radio costs. So, I think after a certain point, it's diminishing returns. This is a great frickin' radio, though. I absolutely adore my Tecsun PLA80. You can see it's just crushing its way through those numbers. And it's got many, many, many presets. So, as far as a portable goes, it's, in my opinion, one of the best you can have. I've tried lots of them over the years. I have a C-Crane Skywave, a C-Crane Skywave SSB. That's, you know, about in the same price range as this fella. And I really wanted to like C-Crane equipment better. The whole American-made thing, I can really get behind that as an American man. But truth be told, the speakers sounded tinny, and I first had the Skywave, and the speaker went out. So I got the Skywave SSB, and the speaker went out. And then I got a third Skywave, just a regular one, and some friend of my kids stole it from my house. That sucked. When someone steals something from your house, right? Supposed to be a guest. I could never imagine. My dad would have kicked my ass if I stole something from another family. Jesus, could you imagine? I know watching it scan is probably like watching, you know, paint dry. That's okay. We're gonna get through this together. Hello, one viewer. We're just scanning through right now. My shortwave radio, basically every time it catches a station broadcasting, it's going to save it to memory. And I lost him. That's fine. Well, it's going to save it to memory, and then we'll scroll through and see all the stations that broadcasted here from around the world. There it goes. We've only got 15. That's not very good. So maybe the rain is actually giving us some pretty crummy reception.
Minutes. Coordinated universal time.
Ooh. Could also be that not too many things are broadcasting right now, because you can see in Colorado that's coming in booming. Look, I'll turn all the filtering off so you can see just how clear it is. At this rate, it should be pretty much like FM. Very little static on it. In fact, it sounds a little blown out. You have to filter it down just to make it sound gentle to your fragile human ear. Woof. Alright. Gotta change it to this. Cuba. Okay, it's coming in loud and clear, but I'm getting no audio from it. Look at that. So I guess they're broadcasting static right now. Look how high that number is, 66. That's pretty good. Pretty poor reception tonight, to be honest. Music, I believe that's coming in from Japan. I'm gonna skip past that so I don't get copyrighted.
La pregunta de una aguja, un alto gesto ecuestre de mi equilibrio, la golondrina en mi cruz, era...
But what effected the change was this. God said, when I see the blood.
Now I know this station, I think it's somewhere in the south.
It isn't a case of you deserve it, or you
I could be
don't
wrong.
deserve it, or whether you're going
I
to
think
live
it's
a life
fairly far away.
which will merit
Coming in very
salvation
clear. Alright, not doing so great. Alright, well, thanks for watching, anyway. If you like this kind of thing, I like to scan around sometimes. I can always record it and do it again. Thanks for watching.